Hi there, everybody. Thank you for joining us. My name is Teo Gonzalez, and I'm the head of AI business development over here at Airbyte. Really excited for you to be joining us for AI Demo Day. And so I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. We're going to be covering a few demos today and a lot of content. But the whole purpose for today is to give more awareness to what is going on in our awesome community when it comes to people building AI agents, applications, platforms, etc. And so let me go ahead and share this screen now and share sound. Perfect. Congratulations, if you see these slides, you are in the right place. The focus, as I mentioned, for Demo Day is giving you more insight into what is going on in the Airbyte community and building AI. And so with that said, we will cover a little bit on what we have going on here at Airbyte, but the focus is actually on other companies. And so we want you to see everything that's going on from product management all the way to the service and hospitality industry, and we're even going to be thinking about e-commerce. Thank you to everyone who, one of our customers who are using Airbyte for AI purposes, who reached out about presenting here. We've actually decided we're going to make this an ongoing thing. So you'll be able to participate in more demo days every quarter where we just go ahead and present more on what is happening. And again, before we even dive in, the focus for today and the way it's going to work is we're going to be presenting demos from these companies. So we'll start with Edge Dive over with Nimesh, and he's going to talk more about how they are giving you context into what your customers are really saying about your products via a variety of integrations and analytics that they're performing, and actions even being taken on by their agents. Then we'll go over to talking with Christian Blake over at Serve AI, which is an agentic platform that's focused not just on giving all the insights that people who manage their hospitality businesses in terms of what they can be doing to be more successful, but also helping dive deeper into what will set your business up for success. And then we'll go over to Sagnik over at Photosphere Labs. They're actually in early access, so you'll find that if you want to learn more, you'll have to reach out to Sagnik to learn more. And we'll conclude with just a couple of things that are on our radar when it comes to AI, some of the developments we've had recently. But again, the focus is much more on the community for right now. And we'll have other webinars where we can cover everything that we're building. So that being said, I'll be attentive to the chat. As people have questions, feel free to go through. You'll get the contact information for these websites, for these individuals in the slides following each demo. And let me know if you have any feedback in terms of audio. I believe we've optimized this in our dry runs to make sure this is going to go smoothly, but it's always helpful to make sure we're hearing from you all directly. So that said, let's dive on in. We're going to go talk to Edge Dive.
Hi, I'm Nimesh, co-founder at Edge Dive. Edge Dive is an agentic product that puts your product quality on autopilot. We offload hours of dev time and reduce context switching for dev teams. I'd like to show you a flow that's been unlocked by Edge Dive to demonstrate just how it does this today. So here I've logged into Edge Dive with our favorite company, Pied Piper. We've already connected a bunch of sources of customer feedback. You can see all those here. Edge Dive routinely processes these and pulls out the key feature requests, bug reports, praise, and general feedback across all these channels. What we can do now is look through some of the bug reports and feature requests and actually just start getting them investigated. All right, so let's say I'm currently prioritizing performance-related issues. Okay. Here's one that looks like we should probably get a handle on as soon as possible. Okay, so now we can dig into what the customer request is, what the customers actually said about this, and I think let's just go ahead and get this thing investigated. I just need to click on this investigate button to kick it off. There it goes. Edge Dive automatically created a linear issue for me and assigned it to itself. This is obviously our staging agent. We can see that it's currently actually digging in and developing a plan for how to fix it. Let's wait for this to finish. I'll go get some coffee in the meantime. All right, I'm back. Cool. Looks like it's got us a plan. We'll just go ahead and review this. Cool. This looks pretty good to me. So I say we just go ahead and fix it. Great. I've got a meeting now, so I'll be back to check on this later. Okay, time to check on our agent. Looks like EdgeDive put up a PR. Let's check it out. We've now got a full PR ready for review. I can review this and iterate on it with EdgeDive until it's ready to merge. Pretty awesome. This flow is unlocking massive gains for us, since we can focus on our strategic initiatives while this handles all the small bugs in the background with a few clicks. That's all I've got for you today. Reach out to me on LinkedIn if you want to know more or want to get it set up. Thanks.
All right. Going over to our next slide, basically, you heard from Nimesh better than I could ever do in terms of what they're building. Super excited to see some of the customers that are using them out of the field. And if you want to go ahead and learn more about how you can leverage EdgeDive, you can use that QR code on the left. And if you ever want to connect with Nimesh directly and learn more about how they're building, what they're up to, figure out, again, similar note, if you want to go ahead and bring this over into your platform, you are welcome to do so in talking with him or even just learning more at their website. So just scan the QR codes. I'll give it a couple seconds so people can do that before we go over to Serve AI. All right. Thanks, Nimesh. And now, and by the way, I've gone ahead and increased my volume for this video. We did have a couple audio difficulties when we did the dry run. So I encourage you to bump it up if it's a little bit off for you, and then you can return back to normal volume for the other slides, although we should have this fixed at this point. Thanks.
Hello, my name is Christian. I am the Chief Growth Officer at Serve AI. Serve AI is a decision intelligence platform built for restaurant and hospitality industry. We know that in operating in any retail environment, there are no shortage of tools, visualizations, and most importantly, now
if I can get confirmation in the chat, the audio is fine. Otherwise, I'll speak over for Christian's demo right now.
Our operations. Serve was built for the entire intentionality of centralization and simplification. So if we think about the way in which I, as a general manager, would be working through my day, there is a lot of manual work and a lot of analysis that goes into making decisions, whether that's augmenting the workforce, so changing around schedules, looking at inventory, what are we running low on, all the way through to customer and guest satisfaction. Those are variables that traditionally, as a manager, as a general manager, as a member of the corporate team, all the way up to executives, we are reliant on centralized data to allow for us.
Got it. Thank you, Glenn. All right. It seems like we might have had an audio video difficulty when we brought this over to YouTube. So I'm going to do the walkthrough instead for how Serve AI works. So basically what you're seeing is Serve AI's homepage and basically performance hub. If you are a general manager and you have a variety of restaurants that you're servicing, you're thinking a lot about things when it comes to your sales performance, but also your labor and how you're thinking about your staffing needs. And so the whole purpose behind Serve AI is you're being able to think about those two main variables in the context of your business. And so with that, you're seeing everything ranging from your time saved all the way to your profits. And the nice thing is that this is across all of your businesses. So let's assume you own a restaurant downtown or franchise, which we're going to see here shortly. You can get into the details on that specific location, or you can continue looking at your business at the highest of levels. And so here in the next iteration, Christian's going to actually walk us over to that more location-specific point of view, where we're going to get into the agentic side of the platform with these recommended actions. And so this is actually my favorite part about Serve AI's setup, where it's thinking not only about what you can be doing to improve performance as a whole, it can also help you think about what you should be considering in your day-to-day. And so when you look at the example that Christian is talking about, they're actually able to look into a specific store. Let's think about your downtown location. And they're thinking about what is happening in that local area to provide hyper-personalized insights, if you will. So you're able to acknowledge what events are happening in the local area, what is happening even at a higher level when you're thinking about the weather, and what is the system based on your past performance projecting will be the impact on your audience in terms of how many people are going to your restaurant, and what you should be doing to be able to properly capture all of that value. And so it's being able to not only make that recommendation, but it's also going to go ahead and provide you the suggested action, or even at times take that action. And so when you go over to the alerts when it comes to cash balances, or when you even think about the other example, which focused much more on a negative feedback review, you can go ahead and execute a workflow optimized towards doing a specific action. And as you can see, here are the realms of integrations that they're thinking about, and why, again, context matters so much for the AI platform. It's awesome that you're able, as a manager of your own businesses, to have something that's ongoing, monitoring what is happening, and able to take the action on your behalf, like we see with the agents page over here. We'll go ahead and go through a couple more of their screens, and I'll continue doing the voiceover since the audio isn't working for some of the people on the YouTube. And what we'll do from there is then pivot to giving you more context on how you can think about Serve AI. And so these are a variety of the agents that they've already gone ahead and deployed in their demo environment, but you can go ahead and add more, and that think about not only about the immediate actions, but also as you further scale your business and think about what actions you want to include. Maybe you want to go beyond just labor optimization to include that competitor finder to be able to think about your local business. This is where the platform is intending to be able to serve you. And so really proud to be working over here and have Serve AI as a part of our community. Christian and team are running an awesome setup. I highly recommend you give them a follow. And with that, we're going to go over to the next slide, which is going to give you that mechanism to go ahead and follow them. So similar to how we did it for Numesh and EdgeDive, on the left you can actually go ahead into Serve AI's website, and on the right you can go ahead and follow Christian directly. Both have a bunch of insight that might be useful to you as you're growing and designing your own platform, or maybe you're someone who's thinking about this similar use case in your own industry, or maybe you are in the industry they serve and you want to go ahead and collaborate with them. No pun intended. So that said, I'll go ahead and go over to our last presenter today. We're going to go over to Sagnik. I mentioned earlier, Sagnik is in a different phase. You can find a lot of details about EdgeDive. You can also find a lot of details about Serve AI. This is really exciting that we're really honored that Sagnik is sharing what is going on from an early access perspective. And what I appreciate about this is largely built on his own experience building and in the e-commerce space, or being a provider in the e-commerce space, and thinking about what tooling will be useful. So this is going to be a little different. It will include a demo in the second half, but he does a deep dive into the context of how he got here. We thought that was really valuable to include in this session because we acknowledge a lot of you are also building your own AI applications, and you're probably going through similar journeys where it's going from idea all the way to product. And so I'm going to go ahead and click over here, and we'll get started.
Hi all, my name is Sagnik Bazundar. I am the founder of Photosphere Labs. I have been running an e-commerce brand, and after realizing the potential gaps, I decided to start Photosphere Labs. Brands are present on multiple platforms: social media, ads, websites, marketplaces. It's just impossible to consume data from all platforms to make strategic decisions. I have lived that life, and I know that it's not possible. They end up spending countless hours trying to figure out what's working, what's not working, and that costs brand a lot. The cost is more than time. There is delay. It slows down the decision-making process. There is wasted dollars. Looking at ROAS, which is return on ad spend, might not give a complete picture of profitability. When the rest of the puzzles are put together, then that's what helps to understand if the product is working or not. Stress, the ultimate confusion of where to scale, where to allocate more ad budget. So let's break down the three important decisions. Where should I spend the next marketing dollar? The ROAS is clearly not visible, but additional cost is not factored in. Which product should I scale? Understanding which product actually contributes to profitability would help to position the product differently. Is my business actually profitable? Understanding the unit economics of the business. What if you could see your entire business in one place? And that's what Photoscale Labs is for. There are rich insights of what's happening in a business so brand owners can stay focused and take strategic decisions. This is demo data with limited functionality. We are in early access and working with beta customers right now, but here's a quick sneak peek. A dashboard view, which gives the brand owner instant insights on what's working, important metrics and KPIs displayed from all the data sources combined. Then to get deeper insights, there is the AI insights feature, which helps to understand much deeply into what the numbers actually are saying, and it helps us take more strategic decisions. And this is built using Airbyte as the data connectors. So right now we have just 3 integrations. So the user logs in, connects the data, and then magic happens. That's all from my end. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Sagnik. As I mentioned, we want you to go ahead and feel free to follow along with updates. And so what we've gone ahead and done, instead of including you the website, which is also still early access, you can go ahead and connect with Sagnik directly over on LinkedIn. You might go ahead and be able to see he's leading up still the brand that even inspired all of this. Again, the whole purpose of Demo Day, from my point of view, is let's get more exposure in terms of what you all are building. And we're really grateful for EdgeDive, ServeAI, and Sagnik and over at Photosphere Labs for sharing. We have our case studies on our public website, which you'll probably see more often when it comes to our enterprise customers. But when you see the enterprises of the future, we want to be finding them here at Demo Day. And so really grateful that those 3 participated again. I would not be my right mind if I did not talk a little bit about what else we are shipping in the near, both already and in the near term, given that we work with a variety of these customers. I just wanted to share some of the things. You already saw Sagnik present a little bit on our widget. And for those of you who have been following Airbyte for a while now, you've probably know our prior iterations of Powered by Airbyte, which we now call Airbyte Embedded, and how before it was primarily headless. We're really excited that we finally have our UI through which end users can go ahead and connect their sources into your own platforms as operators, is what we call those who work with Airbyte in this fashion. And so really excited about that, having finally a way that you can visualize everything from what is your end user seeing and what are they connecting, all the way towards what kind of sources are you making available to them. So we talked about Photosphere's focus is much more in the advertising e-commerce space. You can see that we can optimize our widget to be presenting specific sources. And so if you are interested in learning more about what that embedded offering looks like, you can always reach out, and we can even have you doing a trial, and this will be self-serviceable soon, where you can start playing around and just bringing it into your own application. In terms of stuff that I'm really excited about, in terms of what you can look forward to, where I'm not able to share as much the images because it's coming up in one of our launches, but we're really excited not only giving you the data itself, but helping you have all the context about the data so you can optimize your downstream workloads and pipelines. We recognize that if you're building an AI, it's not just about replicating the data anymore. It's about needing to have a deeper understanding, because you yourself might not inherently come from a data background, but you're being tasked with thinking about everything from chunking, embeddings, all the way towards timing your pipelines in a way that a data engineer might have. And so we're going to be doing a lot more of that in the near term, and you'll actually see this announcement come over here in the next couple of weeks, I want to say, where it's not just about picking where you're pulling from, but getting more information via tools, because we are in the era of AI, so you can think about MCP servers, tool calling, etc. Giving you all that context you need to know to make sure that you're getting the most out of any single source of data you ingest from. So a lot more to come from Airbyte. I thought it would be useful to just talk about what some of the things that's officially shipped and some of the things you're going to be hearing about in the near term. And that said, I want to just thank you all for joining us this morning or evening, depending on where you are. It's always fun having our webinars with you. Like I mentioned, we are going to be doing our next demo day again in about 3 months is the current plan. Maybe we bring it up if we need to for a holiday season. Otherwise, you'll have demo day in January, and then you'll most likely have another webinar here shortly announced for November. So that being said, thank you all for joining us. You can go ahead and scan either of these QR codes if you want to go ahead and continue the conversation on AI in our public Slack channel. We would love to have a conversation there. You can always tag at Teo when you want to talk about it. And you can go ahead and learn more about embedded specifically over on this QR code on our website. That said, airbyte.com has a lot going on. So go ahead and check it out. And we're looking forward to staying in touch. Bye, everybody.